everyone. Happy week 6, Lacc240. This week I spent a lot of time working on my draft for assignment 3, choosing and cleaning my window on the world. And the process has honestly been a lot more eye-opening than I expected. When I completed assignment 2, I got my first glimpse of how strange it is to analyze myself. Like an outside observer. But now, taking a look at the reflection even further, I've started to understand how much information I absorb every day without fully realizing it. As I examine the sources I interact with on a daily basis, news articles, social media posts, videos, and even quick headlines, I began to see how easily bias, repetition, and algorithms can shape my view of the world. I think many of us like to believe we're making rational, independent choices about what we may pay attention to, but the truth is that a lot of what we see is curated by or curated for us long before we even open our phones. That realization made me step back and think, if I want a clearer, more accurate window, I have to be intentional about what I'm letting in. During this process, I learned a lot about myself. I noticed that I tend to rely on the same familiar sources because it feels comfortable to me. Even though I value accuracy and fairness, I realize that my emotional responses, especially during big events, tend to influence what I pay attention to. For example, like during the January 6th attack, I reacted emotionally first and then jumped towards sources that already matched the feelings I was having at that time. It felt like clarity, but looking back, I could see that I was actually emotional. I cannot even think today. I apologize. It was emotional reinforcement, basically. Seeing that contradiction was uncomfortable, but it was also really helpful. It made me realize that even people who care deeply about being informed can still get pulled into emotional loops without even realizing it. But I also identified strengths that I want to hold on to. Strengths is an ability to question myself. Even when I feel strongly about something, there's always a part of me that pauses and asks, do I really understand this, or could I be missing something? I now see that this instinct is extremely important because it keeps me from falling into certainty too quickly. Another strength is that I try to rely on reputable sources, ones that present evidence, cite their information, and offer depth instead of oversimplified sound bites. At that time, I also found some weaknesses that make my window of the world less clear than I realized. One weakness is information fatigue. With so much news and content consistently available, it's easy to be overwhelmed. And when I'm tired or drained, I catch myself relying on shorter summaries or surface level explanations instead of digging deeper. Anyway, that is all I have today. Happy week 6 and happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Have a good one.